When I was in high school, I went through a brief hippie world-saving phase because I had concluded that war was bad and pollution was bad and poverty was bad and that everything would be much better if people could just get along and be groovy together, and so I was out to make a stand and speak my mind about the troubles of the world because I thought that somebody else should try to fix them. Basically, I guess I had good intentions, but I sheepishly have to admit that I passed on reading and understanding the actual political issues of the day in favor of drinking Robitussin and staring at my Salvador Dali posters, so I really didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Well, anyway, I wouldn't really argue with anyone who said that now is a pretty good time to attempt to make some changes, because not only is the world kind of a mess, but from what I can gather, the last 11 or 12 years are amongst the most hostile, cynical, and divided times in the last century. But it's hard to know exactly what to do. I do have a few examples I could follow. My mom is really into changing the world via the environment, and she drives a hybrid car, is passionate about squiggly light bulbs and recycled garbage bags, and gives back excess napkins and ketchup packs at restaurants and says, "Just want to do my part to save the planet." I also have this 13-year-old cousin who was into changing the world via animal rights, and when she was at my folks' house for the holidays, she refused to eat a chocolate chip cookie as we could not assure her that they were made with non-fertilized eggs, and she would not wash her hands as the bathroom soap contained sodium tallowate, and she scolded everybody all the way through dinner because we were eating a chicken. Now, personally, I think it's worth having respect for people who put their time and effort into standing up for what they believe in, and I do my best to continue to have respect for them if I may believe in their ideology, but perhaps not their methods, or even if I don't agree with them in any way, shape, or form. Of course, if you're impassioned about change and you really want to make a difference, it's quite easy to get frustrated because it may seem like no one is listening to you. But the thing that I'm starting to realize is that change is not usually fast and dramatic. Change is usually slow, like evolution. When the first prehistoric thingamabob crawled out of the sea to have a look around, I'll bet that all of his fellow prehistoric thingamabobs probably thought it was a terrible idea and gave him a lot of guff about it when he came home. But over a few zillion years or so, it became a normal thing for thingamabobs to do, and none of them thought twice about it. Many people seem to think it's all about screaming and yelling facts and statistics until you change people's minds, but more often than not, it's about floating an idea for long enough until it's more fun and interesting to be with you than against you. It's hard to say how long any change is going to take, but when you think about how dramatic the shift has been in the last 10 years towards people eating healthier food, it's pretty amazing. When you think about how much more conscious people have become about trying to recycle in the last 10 years, it's pretty amazing. I'm not trying to trivialize how much more needs to be done, but when you think about the kids who are growing up now that don't consider that it was any other way, that's pretty amazing. For some reason, this all reminds me of the commencement speaker at my high school graduation. He gave this big rah-rah speech about how my generation held the keys of possibility, it had the power and ability to stop war, end hunger, explore, and bring the world together. I don't really know what my generation has done. I'm sure there are still some out there fighting the good fight, but chances are most have done what everybody else does when their youthful optimism fades, which is to get wrapped up in raising families, making money, and looking out for our own asses. It's sort of a weird thing to think about, wondering if you're going to be one of those people who actually does make a positive impact on the world, however small, or if you're going to be one of those who tells the next generation to make a difference and hope that they get around to it.